Hello and welcome. This is class number 10 of Decoding PSIR through Answer Writing series. As you know, in this series, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, we have a class at 4 p.m. where we take up a discussion on important topics on PSIR. But how do we do that? We first take up a previous year question that the UPSC has already asked in PSIR, then study that topic in detail and then see what answer to write here. The objective here is simple. For those who have taken PSIR as an optional subject or are planning to take PSIR as an optional subject, for those specifically, this place will help you understand this topic and understand some of those things that are constantly asked by UPSC time and time again. The reason being that theory-based questions are often repeated by UPSC in optionals such as PSIR. If you have still not subscribed to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to get the PDF of these lectures, you can join the Telegram channel. I'm giving the link in the description of the video. I'll be uploading PDF over there as well. With that out of the way, let's see what is it that we will be taking up today. So today we are taking up a question that the UPSC asked in 2015, but very similar questions are asked in almost every single year. The question is, comment on the difference principle in the Rawls theory of justice. It's a short question, 10 marker only. 150 words. It was question number 1C. Now, if you have not watched it on this YouTube channel, I have made a detailed video on Rawls theory of justice. I will give you the link in the description of the video if you want to check that out. If you have not seen that, I would highly advise you, where I discuss in detail about the Rawls theory of justice. What did John Rawls say? If you have seen that already, it would be very easy for you to understand this question. But if you have not seen that, as I said, go and see that video. John Rawls, American philosopher, very famous for his theory of justice, very famous for how in a society justice shall prevail. He was mostly into the idea of distributive justice. Basically, how to distribute resources and opportunities in a society. Let's first try and understand what is his difference principle, and then we'll try and write this particular answer. So let's first try and understand what did he mean by his difference principle. Here are a few things that John Rawls had talked about. Again, for the purpose of this class, we are not going to discuss his wheel of ignorance or original position, but if you want to understand this, I have made a detailed video on John Rawls' theory of justice. Again, the link you will find in the description of the video. Go and check that video out. Very, very important topic if you have not seen that already. For this particular lecture, we'll focus on the question that is difference principle. Now, what exactly do you mean by this? Basically, John Rawls, when he gave his theory of justice, he said that every state, every society must follow three principles. So he talked about three principles. Principle number 1. Equal liberty, which says that no one's liberty should be sacrificed for the sake of someone else's benefit. Means some forms of liberty or freedom such as expression, religious freedom, equality before law are extremely important. They are sacrament and they cannot be taken away. Under no condition should you take away these liberties. Doesn't matter what is the economic status of the person, doesn't matter the person is rich, poor, politically powerful, weak, whatever the gender of the person is. You cannot take away these basic liberties from individuals. Which liberties? Expression, liberty or freedom of religion, and liberty of having equality before law. So this is the first principle, that there should be equal liberty. Second principle, equality of opportunity. So basically he says in a society, everyone should be allowed to go and make a claim at positions of power. Everyone should have the opportunity. He is not saying everyone should get a place in power. He is not saying everyone should become powerful, everyone should become a minister. No. He is saying everyone should have equality of opportunity. Like in India, the UPSC exam is open for everyone that follows or that fulfills the criteria. If you're above 21 years of age, you are eligible for that exam if you're a graduate. That is what it meant by equality of opportunity. That in terms of getting your hands at opportunity, no one should take it away from you. That should be mainly for acquiring offices, positions, etc. And then comes a third principle. The third principle is what you call as the difference principle. This is what the question is asking. The question is about the difference principle, and this is the third principle. What does he say? He says that in case we cannot provide equal distribution of primary goods, in case we cannot have equal distribution in the society, just in case this happens, then what should we do? He says that in case equal distribution is just not possible, then the unequal distribution should be done in such a manner that those who are at a disadvantageous position should get more than others. In simple words, the government, for example, decides that we will give 1,000 rupees to each and every one. Let's say government says every citizen of India will get 1,000 rupees. Now they start distributing it. But now the government says in the middle of it, oh, now we are out of money, we don't have any money left. Now what do we do? Now what do you have to do? Whatever remaining money you have or whatever money that you have left now, give it to those who are at a disadvantaged position, who are already poor. So your unequal distribution can only be justified in case you are doing it in favor of those who are at a disadvantage. So special reward for extraordinary ability or effort to an individual can be treated just only if it results in greater benefit of the least privileged in the society. This, in simple terms, is the difference principle. So out of the three principles of justice that John Rawls had given, first, that was freedom of expression, equality before law. These basic liberties should be open to everyone, number one. Second was everyone should get an equal opportunity to make a claim to offices, to get positions. Third one is the difference principle, which says that if the primary goods in the society are not distributed equally, then they should be distributed in such a manner that those who are at a disadvantaged position get more as compared to the others. These are the three principles. As I said, the third one is the difference principle. Do remember these three principles. This particular question is about difference principle, but mostly when you have question on John Rawls, you would be asked all these three principles. Since this question is mainly about the third one, the difference principle, we are focusing on that, but mostly the questions asked can be about his theory of distributive justice, communitarian critique of John Rawls, all of that. As I said earlier, I had made a detailed video on John Rawls' theory of justice already. I'm giving the link in the description of the video. Go check that out. Now, what does he say, or how does he explain that? Basically, he says that the rule of allocation to each according to his ability, because that is what many people say, that no, you should not distribute anything for free. Anyone who is able to earn money should keep it. Why is the government distributing to the poor people? He says that this concept or this rule of each according to his ability can be applied only if higher efficiency of individuals result in ameliorating the condition of the least privileged. Basically means making it better. So if the condition of the poor people is made better, only then you should have this principle of each according to his own ability. He explained this with a very interesting example. He takes the example of a chain. He says that if you have a chain and you are using it to pull something or whatever, a chain is only as strong as the weakest link. So if a chain, for example, let's say is made up like this, you can say I have a very strong chain, but again, the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. So let's say if this here is a weak link, the moment you start pulling the chain, obviously it will break from here. So you have to focus on strengthening the weakest link in order to strengthen the entire chain. That is the entire idea. The chain is only as strong as the weakest link, and this is where John Rawls says a society is only as strong as the weakest people in the society. Similar to what Gandhi had also said. So you have to focus on uplifting the people who are at a disadvantaged position already. So that is why he justifies special concessions, any concessions that the government is giving, subsidies, etc. He says that these are good only as long as they are being given to those who are at a disadvantaged position and not to everyone else. This is what you need to know about the difference principle. We have discussed enough to help you write a 150 word short answer here. I've discussed this earlier. 150 word answers are usually like short essays where you have to just write this particular topic in 2 or 3 paragraphs. The question again was, comment on the difference principle in Rawls theory of justice. So here you can talk first, define what the difference principle is. He presents it as a part of, so many places, now please understand, many books will say John Rawls gave 3 principles, 1, 2 and 3, the 3 that we discussed. Some people say that the third principle, the difference principle, was a part of the second principle only. So sometimes it is seen as a part of second principle only, because second principle was that equality of opportunity should be provided. So as a continuation of that, it says if it is not the case, if it is not possible, then distribute it in such a manner that those who are at a disadvantaged position, they get the benefit out of it. So many times it's called, the difference principle is regarded as a part of second principle only, so don't be confused with that. Here we have defined a difference principle. It allows inequalities of wealth, income only as long as it will be to the advantage of those who are worse off. That is, the greatest advantage should be given to those who are the least advantaged position right now. Now, depending upon the word limit, you can expand on this. If the same question comes in 200 to 50 word limit, then you can also talk about the chain example. If it does not come, if it comes in, let's say 150 words only, then you can avoid that example. You can just write one line that, as he said, a chain is only as strong as the weakest link, something like that. You can talk about how the difference principle does not maximize utility, because again, utilitarian principle is that do whatever brings a maximum happiness to maximum number of people. Maximum happiness to maximum number of people would be distributing everything equally, irrespective of whatever is the situation of the person. Difference principle, on the other hand, is about favoring those who are at a disadvantaged position. Distribution of material goods is not only about economic distribution, it is also about opportunities. The difference principle should be followed. If equal opportunities are not provided, then they should first be provided to those who are at disadvantaged position. This is how you will be able to write this answer. I hope one more concept is clear to you. Again, do check out the detailed video on Rawls theory of justice. I am giving the link in the description of the video. I'll see you in the next one on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.